my name is Kira. We're here at Laurel Ridge Winery in the beautiful Willamette Valley of Oregon. My family has a 240-acre farm here where we grow grapes and hazelnuts, and we welcome people from all over the world here every day, 11 to 5, to try our wine and hang out with us. For those of you who like to RV, we're part of the Harvest Host program, and if you are a dog and a wine lover, we are super dog friendly. We've got 2 wine dogs and a wine cat, so there's just a little bit of everything out here at Laurel Ridge. Our production focuses on Willamette Valley Pinot Noir, Chardonnay. We make some beautiful other whites like Rosé and Pinot Gris. And then some of the bolder reds from Southern Oregon and out east. So our tasting list typically has a couple white wines, a couple Pinots, and at least 1 bold red for you to try and enjoy. You can discover what the Willamette Valley is all about, as well as some of Oregon's other wine regions. We are a totally family-owned operation here, and we love to share our story about our history. We've been making wine since 1986 and growing grapes since 1980. So we have a rich history here in the valley that we just love to share with people. And we sell our wine right here through our tasting room. So every time someone comes to visit, that's really our opportunity to enrich everybody's lives with our wine, and you can't find it anywhere else. So we hope that you'll come to visit and bring all your best wine questions, bring your dogs, bring your RVs, whatever you got, and we'll hook you up with some delicious wine. Bye.
This is looking up the hill from the winery patio. The field at the very most slope of the hill there is one of their vineyards, and the color is because during our hot summer, where they had up to 117 degrees down here in Oregon, the leaves on the plants got sunburned. They're a very busy family-owned business here, producing all kinds of delicious wines and all kinds of delicious roasted hazelnuts you can buy in packages along with your wine. Now let's leave the wine tasting room and go out into the field to explore the acres of hazelnut trees and the vineyards further out. Everything is extremely dry due to the long drought even the northwest here has been impacted by. Partway out, we look back to see the Laurel Ridge Winery building and the acres of hazelnut trees in the lower grounds. Further out still, we really get a sense of how huge the grounds are as the wine tasting building shrinks even smaller. Continuing across the fields, we come to the fence that divides the vineyards on the hill from the hazelnut tree fields below. Later, back at our RV, we pat the dust off our shoes and pants before we enter our rig. That afternoon, a sudden and strong windstorm came up and shows just how dry and dusty the area has become. They are praying for rain to come soon to hold down the dust, dampen the fire danger, and give water to their fields. Time to close up tight and just stay inside for the evening now. And miraculously as it may seem, the winds brought in the rain that evening and the next day. To try to keep my sleeping bag as clean as possible in bad weather, I rolled it up, and I have my seat covers on my couch, so they can get that dirty and wet. It'll dry out. The upholstery underneath is very good upholstery. It can handle the dampness. It'll dry out. And tonight I just roll out the sleeping bag when everybody's inside for a while, dried out, and ready to hit the sack. So they did their walk, they relieved themselves, had their breakfast, so now they're just kind of like me, honkering down and just listening to the rain. These dogs always fixate on something, whatever catches their interest. I think she's going to just take a nap in the rain. Not a bad idea. Luckily, my 2 girls are much older, a lot more stable. I can see having a young pup in this rig in weather like this would be a bit of a challenge, because they'd want to go outside and play. They're like wound up like the ever-ready battery when they're little pups. But all I can tell you about that is to train them well from 10 weeks on. Use patience and really stick with it, and use love. These guys were raised right. That's why they're such great companions in their old age. And they're very relaxed with anything that goes on in here. Huh, Kate? So, yep, having older dogs can be easier, but it's fun having them as pups and training them well. Be consistent. That's the most important thing. And give them lots of love. Isn't that right, Kate? Kate's watching for anything that goes on out there. Last night we had one heck of a windstorm. It was like rocking this thing, you know. But I've been through worse up in the mountains in the ghost towns of Idaho and Montana, when we had a thunder shower go right over, and I mean over the top of us, with thunder that struck and shook the windows in this rig. And I'm going, oh my. But it's all part of the excitement of traveling on the road, exploring the West. We'll be traveling on to our next destination here shortly. Well, this is a part of traveling with dogs I'm sure turns everybody off, unless you can accept the fact that they are dogs, not your children. They will bring in dirt, mud, and everything else from outside in stormy, dreary weather, like we're having right now. And they might look guilty, but it's what dogs do. And if I was to get upset every time this happened, get down there and clean it up, and all the rigmarole you have to go through continuously to keep a little place like this clean, I'd waste all my time doing that and not enjoying the trip. So I'll let this go as is. It'll dry out. Then when we have some nice weather here, hopefully in 2 days, when it's back to sun, I'll take out the rug, shake it, beat it, and I'll sweep and wipe down the floor, and we'll start over again with a nice clean rig in better weather. That's how we roll. Well, it's time to raise a glass to Laurel Ridge Winery and sadly bid them adieu as we take off to our next adventure and our next winery in our tour of the Wineries of Oregon.